Hello dear students, I am Sahana Prasad from Department of Commerce, Gopal Swami PU College, Mysore. Welcome to Business Studies class. In today's session, let's continue with chapter 5, that is Emerging Modes of Business. This is session 2 and today's topic is difference between traditional business and e-business. In previous session, I explained the meaning of e-business, e-commerce and scope of e-business. I also explained B2B, B2C, C2C and intra-B commerce. In this session, let's see what are the differences between traditional business and e-business. It is very much essential to understand the meaning of traditional business. Traditional business means buying and selling of goods and service from one person to another person without the use of internet. It is the older method of business style, and traditional business offers its goods and services to its local customers. So it is a setup of a business where customers, they will have to physically visit the store or a shop in order to buy goods and service. These days people are not preferring traditional business because it is time taking and it needs a physical way of doing business. For example, a store or a shop or a bazaar. These are the examples of traditional business. In previous class, I explained the meaning of e-business. E-business is defined as doing a business, trade or industry using computer network. That we call it as e-business. Now let us see the difference between traditional business and e-business. First is, let us write the basis of distinction here. I write traditional business and here let us write e-business. First difference is ease of formation. On the basis of ease of formation, setting up of traditional business is difficult, whereas to set up e-business is easy. It is simple and easy. On the basis of formation, to start a traditional business is difficult because traditional business involves physical existence of a building and you need workers to work. You have to set up the entire business with all physical facilities like machinery, furniture, and you need various kinds of raw materials. You have to employ laborers and there must be a physical existence of business in case of traditional business. But in case of e-business, all these requirements are not needed. What is required is you need a computer and a device with an internet connection. So to start e-business is very simple and it is easy. So this is the first difference on the basis of ease of formation. Traditional business is difficult to form and e-business is simple. Second is physical presence. In case of traditional business, physical presence is required and here it is not required. Physical presence means you need a building, you need a location, you should have all facilities related to machinery, raw materials, laborers, furniture, etc. You need everything. When it comes to traditional business, physical presence is a must in case of traditional business. But in case of e-business, it is not required because you can sit at home, you can do electronic business from anywhere. If you have a computer with necessary software and with an internet connection, you can do e-business. So physical presence is required in case of traditional business, but in case of e-business, physical presence is not required. So this is the second difference. Third difference is cost of setting up is high in case of traditional business, and in case of e-business it is low. So what is cost of setting up? To start a traditional business or to start a business, you need varieties of requirements. As I told you, you need building, plant, machine, raw materials. All necessary requirements is a must, and it costs more for a businessman to start a traditional business. But when it comes to e-business, to set up e-business, all these requirements are not necessary. So the cost of setting up e-business is quite low compared to traditional business. So this is the third difference. Fourth difference is on the basis of operating cost. In case of traditional business, operating cost is high. In case of e-business, it is low. Now let us try to understand what is operating cost. Operating cost means the expenses which are related to the operations of the business. Means cost of resources which is used by the organization to maintain its existence. ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ನ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ನ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚುಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಖರ್ಚುಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಖರ್ಚುಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೋ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅದರದ್ದು ಡೇ ಟು ಡೇ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಲಿ ಆ ಥರ ಯಾವ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ಸು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೋ. So this is the fourth difference, that is on the basis of operating cost. In case of traditional business it is high, in case of e-business it is low. Fifth one is nature of contact with suppliers and customers. This is indirect through intermediaries and this is direct. See, fifth difference is nature of contact with suppliers and customers. In case of traditional business, it is indirect through intermediaries. See, when you have to do the business, you have to contact with suppliers and customers. So when it comes to traditional business, it is indirect through intermediaries. Intermediaries means agents, middlemen, or a wholesaler, a retailer, like that. So those we call it as intermediaries. So traditional business ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟರ್ಮಿಡಿಯರೀಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವರು ಸಪ್ಲೈಯರ್ಸ್ನಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ನ ರೀಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ by using a computer network or with the help of internet, it is direct. You can directly contact those suppliers and customers. You can directly have a contact with those intermediaries, means agents or middlemen like wholesalers and retailers. So traditional business it is indirect. Directly manufacturer cannot have a contact with customers. So there is a chain: wholesalers, manufacturers, wholesaler, retailer and customer. But in case of e-business it is direct. When you are doing e-business you can have direct contact with the suppliers and customers. So these are the 5 differences. Next difference is nature of internal communication. On the basis of internal communication in traditional business, it is hierarchical. In case of e-business, it is non-hierarchical. What is hierarchy? Which hierarchy means which is arranged in the order of rank. ಸೊ ಯಾರಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರು ಯಾರಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಹೈರಾರ್ಕಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಸ್ between traditional business and e-business on the basis of the nature of internal communication. In case of traditional business, it is hierarchical. See, in any business, there are 3 levels of management. One is top level, second is middle level, another one is lower level. So, top management consists of a CEO, board of directors, president. In case of middle level, you can find a sales manager, production manager, human resource manager, etc. When it comes to lower level, that is supervisory, you will have a workman, a foreman, etc. So like a lower level or higher level or na contact madbeku andre, there is a chain of command. So yaar admele yaru yarinda yaar information pass agbeku annadana ಒಂದು order irutte. So adu traditional business alli it is hierarchical. So hierarchical means which is arranged in the order of rank. But in case of e-business, it is vertical. E-business, it allows direct vertical, horizontal and diagonal communication. Communication you can make in case of e-business in all these directions. Vertical, horizontal and diagonal communication is possible. So there is no particular hierarchy when it comes to e-business. So this is 6th difference. Next difference is response time for meeting customers. It is long in case of traditional business, and in case of e-business it is instantaneous. It is instantaneous. See, response time for meeting customers or internal requirements, when it comes to internal requirements, in case of traditional business, it is long. When the business alli one internal requirements enirutte athwa customer na meet madadu enirutte, that is very long. The response time to meet customers or when it comes to internal requirements, it takes time in case of traditional business. But in case of e-business, it is instantaneous because a particular business, he can have direct contact with the customer. If you are a manufacturer, you have to sell your products through a wholesaler and an agent or a retailer, and then comes ultimate customer. So the response time to meet a customer is long in case of traditional business, but in case of e-business, it is instantaneous. A particular business can have a direct contact with customer. So that is a difference. 7th difference, it is response time for meeting customers long in case of traditional business. In case of e-business, it is instantaneous. Shape of the organizational structure. Here it is vertical in case of traditional business. It is horizontal. See, when it comes to the shape of organization structure, it defines how the information flows within the organization. That we call it as organization structure, or how the information flows between the levels in the company ಒಳಗಡೆ, business ಒಳಗಡೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ information ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಲೆವೆಲಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ, ಫ್ರಮ್ ಲೋವರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಟು ಮಿಡ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಟು ಟಾಪ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್, ಆ ಥರ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್. ಸೊ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಲೋವರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಮಿಡ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಟಾಪ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್. So there is a particular organization structure when it comes to traditional business. In case of e-business, it is horizontal because there is a direct link between businessman and customers. That is why we call it as horizontal. So this is the difference when it comes to shape of the organization structure. In case of traditional business, it is vertical. In case of e-business, it is horizontal. Next is business process and length of business cycle. Sequential precedence succession relationship. Here it is simultaneous. See, when it comes to traditional business, the business process and the length of the business cycle is sequential precedence succession relationship. It means business cycle, it takes longer time when it comes to traditional business. Sequential precedence means who is in charge of whom. That we call it as precedence. So, ಯಾರು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ಚಾರ್ಜು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಯಾರು ಬಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಚೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಸೊ ದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ process or the cycle, the length of the business cycle is more, and you have purchase, production, marketing, sales, all these are handled by the head of those particular departments. So ಯಾರಿಗೆ in charge ಅದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ simultaneous and the business cycle is shorter when it comes to e-business. Next is opportunity for interpersonal touch. Here it is much more, here it is less. When it comes to traditional business, there is a chance of interpersonal touch. When you go to a particular shop, you can actually see, touch the goods. You can verify its quality and you can examine but ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇದೆ, ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇದೆ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ checking or verifying the quality of the products. Quality of the products cannot be verified when it comes to e-business. So, opportunity for interpersonal touch is less when it comes to e-business. Next is opportunity for pre-sampling of the products. It is much more, here it is less. See, opportunity for pre-sampling of the products means here you can't see the sample of the products before the products are released into the market. Sometimes few business they offer few products as sample. So here in case of traditional business it is possible, but in case of e-business it is not possible. Only thing is sometimes you can pre-sample books, music, journals, software, videos, etc. So that is in case of e-business. 13th difference is ease of going global. It is less, here it is more. See, when it comes to expansion of business, it is very difficult in case of traditional business. But in case of e-business, there is more scope of expanding business to other countries. Especially, it is easy of going global. You know, as cyberspace is truly without boundaries. There are no boundaries when it comes to e-business. But in case of traditional business, there is a less scope of expanding the business. It is not that easy to go global. Next is government patronage. See, patronage means financial support. It is shrinking when it comes to traditional business. It is much when it comes to e-business. The support from government, that is especially when it comes to financial support from government, it is shrinking, it is decreasing day by day when it comes to traditional business. These days IT sectors are the topmost priorities to government. So government is always ready to provide financial support when it comes to e-business. So it is shrinking in case of traditional business, it is much in case of e-business. Nature of human capital. Here it is semi-skilled and unskilled. Here it is professional. See, what kind of human capital is required when it comes to traditional business? Semi-skilled and unskilled persons are needed when it comes to traditional business. What is semi-skilled? Semi-skilled means does not require any advanced training. And when it comes to unskilled, it does not use any intellectual ability or capability. So that we call it as unskilled. So semi-skilled, unskilled are needed when it comes to traditional business. But in case of e-business, we need technical and professional people to manage e-business. Technically and professionally qualified persons are needed when it comes to e-business. So this is the difference. Next is transaction risk. This is low, this is high. Transaction risk means when you are transacting, when you buy goods and services in case of traditional business, transaction risk is low because you verify the goods, arm's length transaction, there is a face-to-face contact. But in case of e-business, the transaction risk is high because there are untrusted sellers, there are unknown sellers. So, mosa mado possibility jasti irutte. So, when it comes to e-business. So, these are the various differences between traditional business and e-business. And I hope you have understood today's session. Thank you.